Chris, what is our fourth main topic today?
This is from King Korg. Hey, John. While we still have not received any official still or trailer for Marvel Studios' Thor Love and Thunder, it looks like Marvel Legends figure for the film has unveiled our first look at the design for many of the characters appearing in Thor 4. The figures gave us our first look at the design for Christian Bale Gorr. While the actual in-film design of these characters will most likely look a bit different, it does provide with the basic outlook of each of them. I personally found Gorr's design to be very intriguing and was wondering, John, what are your thoughts on these looks? Thanks and bring on the filthy.
All right, thanks a lot for saying that in, man. And yeah, look, there are so many reasons that I am dying to see Thor Love and Thunder. A lot of people thought Thor Love and Thunder was going to drop a trailer today. They didn't. At least not yet. There's still hours left in the day. I have a feeling we may not see it until CinemaCon, which is in a couple of weeks, or it could drop any minute, what have you. But I am dying to see this movie. Number one, because it's Thor, and I've loved this franchise ever since Kenneth Branagh brought us the first Thor movie. I love that movie. 2, Taika Waititi is killing it. 3, Thor Ragnarok was awesome. And 4, Christian Bale, who said many times he was never going to do another comic book film again. Well, this one came along and he looked at the character and he thought, yeah, I want to do this. And Christian Bale is going to be Gorr the God Butcher in this. That is exciting. Now, we did get our first look, in a way, at Gorr a couple of weeks ago when Lego put out the Lego set, when they had the goat boat and different things. But that was a Lego. That was a Lego. That didn't give us much of a look. But now, this new toy line has revealed their cover art. And we are, number one, getting a look at what they are calling Ravager Thor. Ravager Thor.
Oh.
So he's not just hanging out with the Guardians a little bit. They consider him a Ravager. Cool. So Ravager Thor. But the more interesting thing is our look at Christian Bale as Gorr the God Butcher. And this, to me, looks awesome. Now, is it different than the design of the character in the comics? Sure. But if you wanted to make this without CGI and you wanted to really let Christian Bale's performance come through and you wanted this all done in practical effects with practical makeup and stuff like that, not CGI, if you know the look of Gorr in the comics, you know you can't do it. Like it's unless it's going to look really silly. This to me looks awesome. I think he looks great. And I've already seen some complaints online, and simply it's because, well, it doesn't look just like it does in the comic. Well, who the hell cares? This looks great. And the other interesting thing here is it mentions on the box, wielding a strange and terrifying weapon, Gorr will let nothing stand in his way. Will we believe that that strange and terrifying weapon, at least in the comic books, is the Necrosword? The Necrosword that comes from none other than Null, the symbiote god, who wield also it's the world cleaver. I mean, this makes Mjolnir look like a paperclip. This thing, right? Now, I do want to warn some people, though. I don't think this is going to be the Necrosword, because the MCU already calls the sword that Hela wielded in Thor Ragnarok as the Necrosword. So it might be a little bit different. It may not. Because a lot of people have been expecting that this is going to be the tie-in with the symbiotes and how Venom clangs in and it's Null and all this kind of stuff. It may be, but it may not be, just because the MCU already calls the thing that Hela had the Necrosword. So maybe it'll be similar. Maybe it'll be a little bit different. Whatever. Either way, it's going to be cool as hell. It's going to be cool as hell. The Necrosword in the comic books actually at one point took over Galactus. Like the symbiote takes over Eddie Brock. It took over Galactus. I mean, it's taken over Thor. It's taken over different in the comics. So how close they will keep to the comics on this, how much will they deviate from the comics on this, don't know. Either way, this looks awesome. It's Christian Bale, Academy Award winner, one of the finest actors on the planet, who's going to be playing this character, and I am dying to see it. A character who has felt slighted and wronged by the gods and decides that his mission now in life is to slay all the gods. which is obviously going to put him on a collision course at some point with the God of Thunder. This is exciting to me. I like the look a lot. I cannot wait for this movie. I don't know when the trailer is going to drop. Hopefully soon, maybe even before the end of this broadcast. Anyway, Chris, you've had a chance to take a look at Christian Bale's now look. This is our best look yet. Better than the Lego look, clearly.
A little better than the Lego.
What are you thinking about it, and where's your anticipation level right now?
I think it's a cool look. Does he look a little bit like Voldemort? A little bit, especially like back of Quirrell's head Voldemort. But I think it looks cool. And the thing is, y'all, too, I mean, there have been so many different versions of Gorr in the comics. Some wild, wild ones. Some where he looks like, what are the people in Star Wars? Why am I not thinking? The
Jawas? Sand people?
No.
The Tuscans?
The ones who dance. And the one who owned a brothel kind of place in Mandalorian.
Oh, Mandalorian.
Or in Boba Fett, yeah.
The Twi'leks?
The Twi'leks,
Okay.
yeah. Gorr kind of looks like that sometimes. Wow, I just lost so much like nerd cred not knowing that word. So there have been a whole bunch of different versions of this, and this looks cool and grounded. And what's even more interesting to me is the inclusion of that sword, right? And knowing that Gorr is going to have that trajectory from the comics of, I was raised to believe the gods. They have wronged me. My partner is dead. My children are dead. It is the gods' fault, and I should be baptized in their blood. Like,
Woo!
Gorr is a wild character.
I love that line.
And like, it's going to be so good to have that dynamic with Thor, who also has lost all of his family, and have him go up against this character being like, hey, we don't have it much easier as gods. I'm really, really excited about this.
By the way, there's a good look right there on the screen of what they're calling Ravager Thor
Nice.
in his blue jeans and kind of like an 80s style vest. He's been taking fashion tips, obviously, from Star-Lord.
Aw.
This thing here. Ray, what are you thinking about it?
You know, Trackside in the chat just pointed out, because I was like, when I was seeing Gorr, I was like, what does this remind me of? I was like, I couldn't figure it out, but Trackside pointed out the Prometheus. The
engineers.
The engineers. And for some reason, those things in that movie creeped me out. Like, because they were so much bigger than you, and I just thought they would just destroy anything. But yeah, I actually don't mind the look. I don't know much of the character, and there's probably a lot of people on the same boat. So we're just going to get introduced to this character through the movie. So we'll have no attachment to any comic book it's from. So I probably won't have any complaints or have any, gripes with it. We'll just see how the character plays out. It looks like if it's a foe, a villain, it looks formidable, and it looks like Jane has her work cut out for her.
Yeah.
By the way, I just want to point out, Aaron World Order pointed out in the live chat, Drew, you got to have a crossover movie of Gorr the God Butcher and Kratos the God Butcher from God of War. That would be a formidable team. By the way, I just want to point out another one of the designs that we saw here is the first more clear design of what Mighty Thor, which is going to be the Jane version of Thor. So Jane Foster's life is forever changed when she mysteriously comes into possession of the hammer Mjolnir and the power of the Mighty Thor. Obviously, you might be thinking, how's Mjolnir there? Well, look, that is a Mjolnir being held together by crazy glue. That is made from the reforged pieces of the original Mjolnir. So somehow, some way, that thing gets reforged, and now she's wielding that. So that's a pretty good look at that too. But again, for me, it's Gorr. This is all about Gorr and how great I think he looks and how badass Christian Bale is going to be in this role. He's going to kill this.
I saw some set pictures of the movie, and Natalie Portman looks like she was getting
She's getting jacked.
Like her arms look pretty. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait. I mean, I love Natalie Portman. I can't wait to see her portrayal of this character.
All right. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about these new looks at Ravager Thor, of the Mighty Thor? But to me, the big one, and most importantly, is of Gorr the God Butcher. I personally love it. I cannot wait to see Christian Bale in this thing. What are you guys thinking about it? Whatever your thoughts are, jump on down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there. We want to take a minute and thank the sponsors of this video, Liquid IV. Now listen, just one stick of Liquid IV added to 16 ounces of water will hydrate you faster and more efficiently than just water alone. It contains 5 essential vitamins like B3, B5, B6, B12, and of course vitamin C, with 3 times the electrolytes as traditional sports drinks. And what makes Liquid IV so effective is the science of cellular transport technology, or CTT. You see, it's designed to enhance rapid absorption of water and other key ingredients into your bloodstream faster and more efficiently. You know, Ann and I get up pretty early in the morning to go to the gym because we can't go to the gym at any other time during the day. And for the last couple of weeks, I have been drinking 1 full glass of water with Liquid IV. And all I can tell you is you can feel the difference during the workout. So go and grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code Campea at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use the promo code Campea, that's Campea, at liquidiv.com. Experience better hydration today when you go to liquidiv.com, and remember, use the promo code at checkout, Campea.